Hello everyone, my name is Smithy and welcome to my 2025 Ironman Bank video. So today we are going to be going through how I've got my bank set up, what changes we've made since last year, a bit of a comparison of last year as well, mainly around bank value and my best in slots and everything like that, because looking back on last year's video, we've over tripled the bank value. And that's solely down to better items to boil it down, and that's mainly due to the bingo board that I was working on last year. It was pushing the account to move that step forward, not just in stats but also in the items that we have. And yeah, I think this year's bingo board, if you haven't seen the video, there's a video up on the channel going through the goals for the year that again is in that bingo board format. Bingo board. I think I said that wrong. Bingo board format. And there's even more expensive items on there, even better items than last year. So there's definitely going to be a little bit of a shift in the bank value again when we start looking at this next year. But anyway, it's 2025. Let's focus on now and let's get into our bank. So to start off, I'm going to go through the bank itself. We're then going to look at the items that we have in the player-owned house, because one of my goals of this account is to actually fill every single slot in the house because there's quite a lot of them. And we'll also take a look at my seed vault as well, because there's some value there because I've moved out the majority of my seeds to the vault. All right, let's stop yapping. Let's get into the bank. So we come in, the first thing you see, bank value, 1.7 bill. So last year, are you waiting? Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Last year's value was 558,745,588 coins. This year, we have 1,700,547,373 Gillinor pieces in value, which that there goes without saying. A little bit of an improvement, just a little bit. So it's still got a very similar setup with these initial initial main tab and then the first tab with items that I use regularly, that I need to get out in a kind of get in the bank, quickly grab them, get out, go and do something. Bar obviously the Burning Claw and the Tormented Synapse, which I just recently got in the most recent Ironman Progression Series episode. So if you want to see that, most recent video on the channel before this one, they will be moved out into the actual gear tab 2 at some point in the future. I'm still deciding the fate of my synapse, of whether I make the bow or if I hold out until I can make the Emberlight. But yeah, they're chilling in this first tab, but mainly coins, other currencies, graceful. I've got my seeds here that I use for birdhouse runs, impling jars in case I need to grab one and go and catch, say, a dragon impling or something like that that's knocking about somewhere. Then I've got my fishing bowl and diving apparatus for my seaweed runs. I've got my Karamja monkey here just because he's chilling. I've then got all my keys on the steel ring. I've got my Ash Sanctifier and Bone Crusher, which I grab quickly to go and do some Slayer. And then I've got clue items with the Strange Device and the Spade. And then I've got my cannon here as well, and cannonballs. Rune pouch, magic cape, because I like grabbing that quick when I need to change my spell book. And then I've got my farming cape as well. Again, like the diving apparatus, come in here, quickly grab it, hit the leprechaun, not actually hit him, but grab all my farming supplies off him, and then go and do a farm run. Moving down, I've got all of my runes, and then quick grab teleports that I might need. If I need to jump in the bank, grab one, teleport off somewhere. So that's kind of the lay of the land of why everything you can see in shot right now is there. It's all getting into the bank, need to grab something quick, get out of there. But anyway, let's go into that first tab. As you can see, mainly runes, teleports, staves as well. And then I've got my rune crafting supplies, out of blood essences, which is a little bit annoying, but hey ho, is what it is. And then down here we've got some spare amulets and other staves that I don't really want to like alch or drop or get rid of, but they do have a use for something at some point, so they're sitting here in my magic in inverted commas tab. Yeah, I guess that's how you could oversimplify it, magic. But yeah, that is my first tab. Nothing really crazy in here. We didn't have the Colossal Pouch last year, or the Smoke Battle Staff, for example, and also the Pharaoh Scepter and all of that good stuff. But yeah, for the most part, this hasn't really changed. There's been some new additions, but the overall format of it is still very much the same as how it was last year. Now, moving on to probably the most expensive tab, my gear setup. Okay, so let me just move along my video so I can quickly have a look. I've got on my other screen my 2024 video, so I can kind of look at that and then look at this and yeah, kind of talk about the upgrades and everything like that. I did have a bit of a reshuffle on this tab. I kind of moved my best in slot armors to kind of the central position, and then we've got kind of our best in slot weapons on the left hand side for melee, then range and mage on the right hand side, with some specialist helmets as well. So with the Slayer helm and the Dwarven helm, which I use for when I go into the wilderness. Then we've got Salvami and Salvami E. So if I'm doing Tob, I grab that one. If I'm doing something that actually needs the EIO, that's there. Then coming down from, best in slot weapons, best in slot armors for the 3 different attack styles. We've then got our amulets, and then our glove slots, then our ring slots, and it's pretty easy. I just go click, 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 click if I need my melee, click, 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 click if I need my mage, and so forth with range, obviously. And then here, I've got my mage, melee, range, everything pretty much, mage, everything pretty much. If I'm doing something that requires recoils, for example, Zulrah. And then on the right hand side here, again, we've got like specialist weapons that I use regularly, but they only have certain use cases. So the Keris being TOA, same with the Dragon Dagger, the Chali being used at TOB, and then other bits and pieces here and there. Then down here I've got my blessings that I use regularly, then the Book of the Dead that I use obviously with mage, and then Slayer bracelets, and everything you see in shot here is something that I use regularly. So it's something that when I come into my gear tab, I want to be able to see it and grab it and not have to scroll down really to find it. So at the top here is everything that I mainly use on the regular. Some of it have use case driven stuff, maybe Slayer, maybe Raiding, maybe the particular boss. Kind of why I've got a mixture of ammunition on the side here as well, with my Ruby E's, Diamond E's, which I pretty much use most places. Then I've got for Muspa, I just this year started making Sapphire Dragon Bolts, and then I've got my Mithril ones that I used to use as well, but they're kind of terrible in comparison to the dragon ones. And then we've got sort of arrows that I don't really use bows at the moment because I've got a bow for this year, so that's a huge upgrade, because before I was using imbued magic short bow. And then to give you an idea of how we've upgraded, I always had the Serp helm, but in this slot I had my Slayer helm. We've got the Blood Moon chestplate, which I'm now using over the fighter torso. We managed to get some tassets, Bando's tassets this year as well. Our mage setup is pretty much the same, but with range, we've completely updated it. Here I had the Nezi helm, Carol's top and bottoms. Now we've got full crystal, and I've got the Missouri assembler. Missouri assembler, I should say, not Missouri, not the place. And yeah, we've upgraded the assembler to the Missouri one because we got the kit at TOA, for example. Before it was the Vorkath one, the Ava's assembler, is it? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, but rings wise, we've always had the DK rings, but I'm looking to upgrade those this year to the DT2 ones, at least 2 of them, with the Berserker ring and the Seer's ring being upgraded. But then if we scroll down, everything else down here is again like real niche stuff. Like I might need a Slayer staff to do Vorkath, so that's kind of like within one scroll down of my scroll wheel. And then I've got some bits and pieces for like when I'm in the wilderness and Slayer bits, and I've got all of the moons sets as well. I got pretty spoon fed on those and complete. I think it's 114 KC or something silly. And then down here we've just got some miscellaneous bits and pieces that probably should be moved to my collection log tab, but maybe that gets reassessed for next year. But anyway, that's mainly my gear tab. It's worth 1.16 bill or 1.17 bill. Easy, the main reason why our bank has jumped up so much is because of this lovely tab. And all of the upgrades that we've got this year, because we didn't have an Amulet of Rancor, for example. It wasn't even a thing in 2024. At the start of 2024 when I recorded my last bank video. But we also had to get the what was it's not the Suffering, not the Tormented. You know what I mean, the Zenite necklace. So we've got all 4 Zenny jewelry now. We didn't actually have the Tormented bracelet this time last year. So that's another one that's a huge upgrade. But yeah, that's my gear tab. Let's move on to the next one. And that's food and potions and stuff. So this tab hasn't really had much change to it. Yeah, I mean, it's food and potions. Yeah, it's just had a bit of a reorg, bit of an adjustment around a little bit, maybe prioritise some of the pots that I use more than others for at the top. We've still got the cooked food over the raw food and then into the pots. Yeah, very, very much the same as last year, to be honest. If I got the pot storage thing from the new Herblore minigame, a lot of this would get cleared up, but I haven't got that because I can't be bothered because it's a horrible minigame. But don't tell anyone. But yeah, mainly what I've done here is I've readjusted it so in the top row of my pots, and that is the kind of main ones that I use. So prayer pots, restores, sour brews, super combats, extended anti-venoms, range pots, staminas, and then down here we've got magic pots, Samthus, and then anti-poisons and all that stuff, and anti-fires, and yeah, more use case driven stuff. And obviously Moonlight Moth mixes came in last year, so those wouldn't have been in my original bank video either. But yeah, for the most part, this tab hasn't really changed, which, yeah, it has nearly doubled in value though. I should say as well, what have we got in our tackle box? I feel like yeah, that's pretty much the same as well. I've taken out the angler outfit because I've now got 99 fishing and I've put it in the player-owned house. But anyway, on to the next one, which is smithing, mining, and crafting. Oh, see, I know my bank. Again, for the most part, the top layer of this, kind of the main bits of it haven't really changed. But in here, I've got top rows are, well, on the left, I've got tools, and then I've got all of my gems, then all of my ores, and then their corresponding bars underneath of them. Then we move down into my crafting supplies with buckets of sand and giant seaweed and molten glass and everything like that. Then we've got so these mithril plate bodies I use for Giant's Foundry. Then I've got my gloves as well, Goldsmith and Ice Gloves for Blast Furnace when I'm doing gold bars. Then my Varrock Armor 4, which last year was only a 3. Then we've got the Celestial Ring, Coal Bag, some currencies here with the Golden Nuggets and the unidentified minerals. Then just some out products of doing crafting. Stardust, which we've been kind of working on. I've nearly got the full gold set, I think. I've got like 2 pieces. I think last year I only had the 1. We've got the Costume Needle, which means I've managed to get a bank slot back with not needing thread. This was from one of the new Valamore quests, so it's a combined needle and thread that never runs out. Really, really handy. Really good for saving a bit of bank space. And then we've just got some molds that I used consistently that I could ditch and put them in the house, but you know, I need my ring mold pretty often to keep my Suffering fueled up with recall rings. And then if we move down, we've then got, again, output jewelry of everything that I've made when I've been doing crafting grinds. And then on the left-hand side here, we've got all of my D-hides and then their corresponding output items, which does come in handy when I'm doing like wilderness stuff, especially with the black D-hide. And then at the bottom here, it's just kind of miscellaneous stuff. And I've started putting together my battle staff section. So you've got orbs into their corresponding battle staffs. I've not actually started making any air. Maybe I have somewhere. I don't know. But at some point, there will be air battle stars underneath of this, just so it all looks pretty. Yeah, gem bag, snakeskin from Zolra. It's pretty standard supplies from crafting and smithing. Yeah, not really much to say. It's a load of ore, a load of bars, and a load of gems that then ends up into necklaces and other crap. So, one of my skilling tabs. The next tab is my woodcrafting. That's not a thing. Woodcutting, fletching, and I've also still got my prayer stuff in here as well. Just mainly because of the old long bones and that, because they give you construction XP. So we've got all of our planks in here as well. So at the top here, felling axe, normal dragon axes, and then all of our other tools as well that we use for wood cutting, fire making, crafting, fletching, construction, everything kind of timber based. It's probably a good way to describe it, isn't it? Timber based. But we've now got 99 fletching after last year, so not really looking at logs so much anymore. The kingdom was so good for 99 fletching, by the way. So if you're looking to get 99 fletching, kingdom, keep it fueled, keep it giving you maple logs. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, moving down. Had a lot of rune limbs this year. I did use up a lot of them, or all of them. I think looking back, I had 14 last year. I used all of them to make rune crossbows for fletching. I've already had 7, and it's only been a few weeks that I've got those in. Still dragons were being very, very kind. Then going through, we've then got all of our kind of unmade javelins and bolts and arrows and all of that stuff, and then ungemified bolts that will then get turned into enchanted bolts at some point whenever I kind of start to run out. Down the bottom here is where I've got sort of some other ones that, you know, haven't had anything done with it, haven't been enchanted yet, I should say. But I've jumped the gun now. And then here I've got mithril, emerald, ruby, diamond, onyx, and dragonstone bolt tips. And then I've started getting into my prayer supplies that I'm going for 90 prayer this year. So I've started stocking up those. Then I've got all of my darts that you can see I've been on the fletching grind because I don't have any unfeathered tips at the moment, only in rune because I've probably got them from a clue recently. Also, I like keeping some of these because elite clues. There's an elite clue step that you need to make rune darts, so I like to keep those because I don't think I can smith them at the moment, so I always keep some of those in the bank. Then I've just got unfinished broad bolts that just were kind of like not used for my fletching grind, pretty much. Then down the bottom here, ensouled heads, and then my long bones that I've got a lot of those in the past couple of weeks from doing Basilisk Knights and I think Tormented Demons as well. I think they drop them. But yeah, everything seems to be giving me long bones, but not the actual drops, which is really annoying, I guess. Future me will love that because I'll go, oh, look, some XP. Wow. But I like to stock all those up before I take them over to the Goblin Lands and is it Goblin? No, yeah, Cave Goblin Lands, and get them turned into XP. Just do it all in one trip in it. Then I've got all of my birds' nests that were coming from Kingdom. Keep those as placeholders, otherwise they go berserk in your bank, and yeah, it's chaos. And then down the bottom here, just various items from fletching and crafting. No, not craft. Sorry, fletching and birdhouse runs, I guess. Again, anything timber related. Way. Yeah, I don't really need those dragon fruit pies anymore because I am 99, so I don't really need to boost or anything. But they can stay there for now because they look nice. They look delicious. But anyway, that is my woodcutting, crafting, fire making, construction. Did I say fletching? Did I say woodcutting, fire making, fletching, construct? You get the point. That's what this tab is for. But it's worth like 76 mil. It's quite good. It's not bad, I guess. Now, this next one is my another skilling tab, and that is to do with mainly herb lore, but also a bit of farming as well, because of all the seeds that we've got in here for my farm runs and herb runs and stuff like that. So we've got the grimy herb and then the cleaned herb. I like to keep them in here because of the grimies. They've all got placeholders on that from things like Kingdom, and also if I do a farm run and forget to clean them, and then if I've done Slayer and I dump out my herb sack, and also with Herbie as well, dump out the herb sack. They've all got their own placeholders. They all go in neatly and not get thrown around. I did have a bit of a jig around of my secondaries for the ones that I primarily use. I've moved those more to the top, and I've also cut down the amount of seeds I've got in here as well, and they've been moved over to the seed vault. But for the most part, these are seeds that I'm actively planting. And then if we scroll down, we've then down here got all of my swamp tars, and then kind of pots that I'm regularly making, and then we've got the supplies for making super combats as well. Yeah, we you can see I make a lot of super attacks because I have nukes and irrits are kind of irrit are kind of a OP combo, because you get a lot of irrits and you can buy Eye of Nukes. It's pretty sick. But yeah, this tab has mainly been either picked through because I was pushing for 90 herb last year and I managed to get 92. So a lot of my supplies have been used and then regotten. Is that a word? Probably not, but I'm saying it anyway. Yeah, this tab is one that is gets a lot of battering because I use a lot of it, and then restocking it. It's a bit like a Tesco that it doesn't get resupplied at the end of the day. It normally takes like a good month to restock it. It's mainly on me remembering to do far runs, or if Slayer goes, here you go, mate, here's some herb lore supplies, get it in your bank. But yeah, compared to last year, we've got a lot more herbs at the moment. A lot of herbs compared to last year. We were picked fairly clean last year, looking at the previous video, especially in secondaries as well, excluding my red spider eggs, because last year I had just over 1,000. Not got that anymore. Mainly because I've been doing a lot of PVM. A lot of PVMs. I've been going through them a lot. But that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, herb lore tab, pretty standard. And yeah, I think it's quite a nice setup. Quite a nice setup. Now, this next one is my collection log tab and also alkables and stuff like that. Again, not really changed in a sense of how I've got it laid out. Probably more cleaned up a bit. Yeah, top rows is, items you get multiple of and pages and stuff like that. Purple sweets, then firelighters and god boots, and then just like cool items at the top. And then all of my alchable dragon stuff, all of my barrow stuff, then all of my rune stuff, and then just into complete chaos. I do have here, I've been making up a lot of sets just to save a bit of bank space. That does actually work quite well. But you always get like, here's 9 yellow party hats and one of all the other ones, so you can only make one set. Thanks for that, love that. So it does mean you have a few extras, which is what it is. Is what it is. I'm not going to drop them because I like them. They look cool in my bank. Yeah, down here, just miscellaneous stuff that I might need for a clue step at some point, or it'll just, sit there for eternity doing nothing. Yeah. Sad little life for these red spiky van braces. But there's stuff that I'm like, I can't really buy them anywhere or buy them like quickly. So they're just going to sit in here and they're just going to chill in here. But I do have a little dead animal section with various heads and big fish and crab claws, and then spare godsword blades, and yeah, it's a nice tab. It's nice to look back on here because it's like items that I've got in the collection log that I've got multiple of that don't really have a real use, and I can't store them in the PoH because all of my clue stuff, pretty much, bar the stuff for worth over like 1 million GP, is in my player-owned house. And there's a lot of stuff in there. So we'll go and have a look at that in a bit. Next tab is like a farming tab. Not really much in here anymore because I got rid of a lot of the stuff that I don't need. So this is all like protection fruits and stuff that I might need at some point, or like volcanic ash for compost. Number lights for when I do the volcanic mine grind, for example, just to finish that off and get it done. Yeah, it's farming supplies really. I probably could put all this in my herblore tab, but I don't want to make that even messier. I keep it in here because I've got no reason to use another tab, so it can sit in here for now and chill out until I go, I don't need you anymore. Bye. And then the last tab is the miscellaneous tab and also Hunter. With the new Hunter rumors that got released, the kind of this top left-hand corner is all of the stuff that I use for that, and then everything else is just crap that I got from quests and I need for some weird niche use case. I don't think I need this stuff anymore. That's from Desert Treasure 2. Maybe I get rid of that at some point. But either way, it's stuff that there's might be use for them at some point. So they sit in here until they get, called up. They get the call from the boss. It's your time to shine, my clockwork suit penguin. It's your time to shine, which I think you need for a clue step or something. So that's why that's in there. Same as the sled. This stuff is all kind of, you've got that cupboard in your house that you just throw a load of shit in. That's what this tab is. And you just hope that it doesn't all come crashing out when you open the door. But that is pretty much my bank. Little cool thing with the bank tab layouts, I have created some like preset ones that I use for PVM that I do pretty regularly. So Bandos, for example, this makes the grind so much easier because everything's all in one place. And when I need to come and resupply, I go click, 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 click. You get the point. I'm all ready to go. So like this one, this is what I'm equipped with. This is what my gear setup is. Then this is how my inventory looks. And then runes that I need for my rune pouch when I'm getting ready to go. And I've put my cape in here as well so I can switch my spellbook if I need to. And then down the bottom, if I do die, I've got my God Wars items that I can go back and get my stuff without being attacked by anything down in God Wars Dungeon. So that's what this tab is. Works really well. So if you're regularly doing a certain boss, set up one of these because it make your life so much bloody easier. And I've got one for Tormented Demons as well. Been doing those pretty regularly because I'm trying to get the last Burning Claw on another Synapse. And then Muspa, got another one for that. I don't think Zolra's... No, Zolra's... Don't look at that one. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. There's mainly these three that I actually use at the moment. These ones probably all need deleting, to be fair. But this one is, again, very, very useful. And when I sort of come back to a boss and I've completely forgotten what I've used for it because I've not done it in ages, these little tabs, so good. So good. So, highly recommend setting those up if you haven't done so already. Anyways, let's quickly go to the bank. Not the bank, my house. And we'll go through what I've got stored in the PoH. When it loads, there we go. So, pet-wise, let's see what we've got. I've got a fair few pets now. We've got the Chompy Chick, the Heron, Phoenix, Herbie, Muffin, Fishbowl, Overgrown Hellcat, and the Brover. Broav, whatever it is. But yeah, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 pets in the house. I mean, they're not all real pets, but they're real pets to me, especially the Fishbowl. So if you come in here, Fancy Dress Box is now complete because I managed to get a Stale Baguette. As you can see, very nice, very nice. Then the toy box, this is all complete because I always do all of the seasonal events. So that is all full. Lovely. Cape rack is, work in progress. All of our skill capes, I always get, if it's a skill cape I use, I always get 2 of it. So one goes in here, one goes in the bank. Because like I said, I'm trying to fill every single slot. So yeah, there's a nice amount of capes in there now, and the hoods for corresponding skill capes. Now for the magic wardrobe, what have we got in here? Nothing really of the big ticket items at the top. We've got our Broomer torches. So I've got the weapon hand, and also I've made one the offhand, which was a recent update. Carpenter's outfit, we just need the top, which I'm hoping to get this year. Forestry kit, ghostly robes, graceful set that I need the gloves for to complete that section. I will at some point go for all of the gracefuls, but that makes my eyes hurt, or brain hurt thinking about going for all of those. Log basket, lunar robes. I probably should do the Mask of Rebirth at some point. The Moon Clown robes, I bought some of those. Mystic robes and going for all of those sets. I want to complete a Remnants of the Eye set as well this year. Skeletal set. Twilight Emissary robes are new because they're from Valamor. But yeah, that is the Magic Wardrobe. The armor case. What have we got in here? The Adventurous robes. Is that from this year's league? Maybe, I don't know. Angler set. Well, we've got the Spirit one. Then quest items. I probably should get those done at some point. The camouflage gears. Castle Wars. No thanks. Elite Black Armor was new this year. I finished off the Farmer's outfit this year. The Hunter's outfit is in my Hunter, like the tackle box, the Hunter kit, or Huntsman kit, whatever it is. I've got a full set in there, so that's in there because I'm actively using it. Forestry set, because I'm done with woodcutting. With the golden set, I need the boots and the hat. Helmet, or whatever you want to call it. And then... I need to at some point get the Shadian outfits so I can just finish that off. I've already done them, but I dropped them years ago. And that's about it for there. Now we get onto the fun one, the treasure chest. So let's go beginner first. I just need the bare feet and the sandwich lady costume bottoms. Then for easy, we've got a few new items in here. I just need the holy blessing, and I've got all of the shared items, which is pretty cool. Nice. Oh no, I can do it through here. Medium. I'll just scroll through it quickly for people who don't care, but they just want to see it. I'll just scroll through it quickly. It doesn't really matter. Hard items. Obviously not got any third age. It'd be cool to finish off like the D'hide sets, but that's going to be a lot of clues to get those done. A lot of clues. Not so much in that one. Elite, I've got a couple of items, I think, now. No, alright, must be Master. No, I've clicked Elite again. Sick, nice one, mate. We've got 2 of the bowl wigs because I'm bald and they're taking the piss. Pair of spectacles, and that is that for that. Let's quickly go to the Farming Guild. We'll have a look at my Seed Vault. Alright, Seed Vault. Pretty much everything's been moved in here that is for farming because I don't do farming anymore, really. It's still like nearly 10 mil worth of stuff in here, so it's worth having a look at. Anyone need a Guam seed, let me know. I've got nearly 800 of them. A lot of trees and stuff, fruit trees and that. So if I do want to grind out the pet, I don't really want to grind out the pet, and that sounds like a fate worse than death. Some really good supplies in here, even though I've got 99 farming. I think I'm 14 mil. No, 13.4. Nowhere near 14, is it? But anyway, that is the bank video for 2025. I hope you guys have found it interesting and informative and enjoyable and all of these good stuff. And hopefully you managed to get a little takeaway for what you can use for your accounts. And any little fun bits and pieces in there. But also these videos are just for kind of mainly tracking how we're doing each year and from a bank perspective. Because you can look at stats, but you could be using still a rune scimitar and I don't know, dragon boots. Nothing wrong with dragon boots, but you could just literally have a rune scimitar and dragon boots, but you've got max combat. If you've done that, fair play. Proud of you. But I think it's a nice way to also track the account's progress in in like a single video from that perspective. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing. Drop a like as let me know as you guys are enjoying these videos, and also helps with the old algorithm push. And let me know any new items that you've got in the previous year in the comments. And if there's anything you think I should change to my bank, I'd love to hear that as well. But anyway, stay safe. See you all in the next video. Bye.